Greetings, lords and ladies, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. When last we left off, we climbed to the top of the Tower of Ashal, and we are about to light the beacon to signal Logain's army to charge. And not without taking some hits, man. Alistair took a cunning penalty, I believe. Cracked skull. Ew. That's okay. He doesn't need his cunning anyway. Okay, let's light this beacon. Get this party started.
Sound the retreat.
What?
What about the king? Should we not...
Do as I command.
Pull out! All of you, let's move!
Not cool, Logain. Get him, Duncan. This one's for you, Morph. Game over. So what did I do wrong? Nothing. Darn you, Plot. Oh, hello, Plot.
Ah, your eyes finally open. Mother shall be pleased.
I remember you, the girl from the wilds.
I am Morrigan, lest you have forgotten, and we are in the wilds, where I am bandaging your wounds. You are welcome, by the way. How does your memory fare? Do you remember Mother's rescue?
Wait, what happened to the army? To the king?
The man who was to respond to your signal quit the field. The Darkspawn won your battle. Those he abandoned were massacred. Your friend, he is not taking it well.
What happened to the Grey Wardens and the king?
All dead. Your friend has veered between denial and grief since Mother told him. He is outside by the fire. Mother asked to see you when you awoke.
Were my injuries severe?
Yes, but I expect you shall be fine. The Darkspawn did nothing Mother could not heal.
What about Alistair? Is he alright?
He is, as you are. I suppose it would be unkind to say he is being childish.
Thank you for helping me, Morgan.
You You were welcome. Though Mother did most of the work, I am no healer.
Why does your mother want to see me?
I do not know. She rarely tells me her plans.
I have some questions if you don't mind.
I do not mind. Take your time.
Are we safe here? Where are the Darkspawn?
We are safe, for the moment. Mother's magic keeps the Darkspawn away. Once you leave, 'tis uncertain what will happen. The Horde has moved on, so you might avoid it.
Why did your mother save us?
I wonder at that myself. But she tells me nothing. Perhaps you were the only ones she could reach. I would have rescued your king. A king would be worth a much higher ransom than you.
Much, much higher.
What a sensible attitude. Mother is seldom sensible, however.
How did she manage to rescue us exactly?
She turned into a giant bird and plucked the two of you from atop the tower, one in each talon. If you do not believe that tale, then I suggest you ask Mother yourself. She may even tell you.
Are there any survivors besides us?
Only stragglers that are long gone. You would not want to see what is happening in that valley now.
Why? What's happening?
Are you sure you want me to describe it?
Yes, please.
I had a good view of the battlefield. 'Tis a grisly scene. There are bodies everywhere, and Darkspawn swarm them, feeding, I think. They also look for survivors and drag them back down beneath the ground. I cannot say why.
Why did Tern Logain abandon the king?
I do not know who this Logain even is. Perhaps ask Mother of it.
I think I've asked enough questions.
I agree. 'Tis time you speak with Mother, then be on your way.
Last of the Wardens. That's not good. Studded leather armor. My inventory's still full. It's just rough. I don't need it. About this. Can I get in here? Key required. I know what's in there. I'll be back for it. Can I speak to her again?
You must speak to Mother, then be gone. You have an army of Darkspawn to avoid, and 'twould be best to get an early start. I do not mind. Take your time.
Is this just going back to... Yeah, I think I've asked enough questions.
I agree. 'Tis time you speak with Mother.
Thank you. Out we go.
See, here is your fellow Grey Warden. You worry too much, young man.
You're alive. I thought you were dead for sure.
Takes more than a few Darkspawn to kill me.
Duncan's dead. The Grey Wardens. Even the king. They're all dead. Oh, this doesn't seem real. If it weren't for Morrigan's mother, we'd be dead on top of that tower.
Do not talk about me as if I am not present, lad.
I didn't mean... But what do we call you? You've never told us your name?
Names are pretty, but useless. The chastened folk call me Flemeth. I suppose it will do.
The Flemeth? From the legends? Daveth was right. You're the Witch of the Wilds, aren't you?
And what does that mean? I know a bit of magic, and it has served you both well, has it not?
I suppose we should thank you.
If you know what is good for you, I suppose you should.
If you're Flemeth, you must be very old and powerful.
Must I? Age and power are relative. It depends on who is asking. Compared to you, yes, on both counts.
Then why didn't you save Duncan? He was our leader.
I am sorry for your Duncan, but your grief must come later. In the dark shadows before you take vengeance, as my mother once said. Duty must come now. It has always been the Grey Warden's duty to unite the lands against the Blight, Or did that change when I wasn't looking?
The land is hardly united thanks to Loghain.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would he do it?
Now that is a good question. Men's hearts hold shadows darker than any tainted creature. Perhaps he believes the Blight is an army he can outmaneuver. Perhaps he does not see that the evil behind it is the true threat.
The Archdemon.
What is this Archdemon exactly?
It is said that long ago, the Maker sent the old gods of the ancient Tevinter Imperium to slumber in prisons deep beneath the surface. An Archdemon is an old god awakened and tainted by darkspawn. Believe that or not, history says it's a fearsome and immortal thing, and only fools ignore history.
We should contact the rest of the Grey Wardens.
Kaelin already summoned them. They'll come if they can, but I expect Loghain has already taken steps to stop them. We must assume they won't arrive in time.
What could the Terran hope to gain by betraying the king?
The throne? He's the Queen's father. Still, I can't see how he'll get away with murder.
You speak as if he would be the first king to gain his throne that way. Grow up, boy.
If Al-Eamon knew what he did, he would never stand for it. The Landsmeet would never stand for it. There would be civil war.
You think that Arl would believe us over the Terran?
I suppose. Al-Eamon wasn't at Ostagar. He still has all his men. And he was Kaelin's uncle. I know him. He's a good man, respected in the Landsmeet. Of course, we could go to Redcliffe and appeal to him for help.
Keep in mind that Loghain was also an honorable man.
The Arl would never do what Tairn Loghain did. I know him too well. I still don't know if Al-Eamon's help would be enough. He can't defeat the Darkspawn Horde by himself.
Surely there are other allies we could call on.
Of course! The treaties! Grey Wardens can demand aid from dwarves, elves, mages, and other places. They're obligated to help us during a blight.
I may be old, but dwarves, elves, mages, this Arl-Eamon, and who knows what else. This sounds like an army to me.
So can we do this? Go to Redcliffe and these other places and build an army?
Why not? Isn't that what Grey Wardens do?
So you are set then, ready to be Grey Wardens.
Yes, thank you for everything, Flemeth.
No, thank you. You are the Grey Wardens here, not I. Now, before you go, there is yet one more thing I can offer you.
The stew is bubbling, Mother dear. Shall we have 2 guests for the eve, or none?
The Grey Wardens are leaving shortly, girl. And you will be joining them.
Such a shame. What?
You heard me, girl. The last time I looked, you had ears.
Thank you, but if Morrigan doesn't wish to join us...
Her magic will be useful. Even better, she knows the wilds and how to get past the Horde.
Have I no say in this?
You have been itching to get out of the wilds for years. Here is your chance. As for you, Wardens, consider this repayment for your lives.
Was this your idea all along?
Pardon me, but I had the impression that you two needed assistance, whatever the form.
Not to look a gift horse in the mouth, but won't this add to our problems? Out of the wilds, she's an apostate.
If you do not wish help from us illegal mages, young man, perhaps I should have left you on that tower.
Point taken.
Mother, this is not how I wanted this. I'm not even ready.
You must be ready. Alone, these two must unite for Eldon against the Darkspawn. They need you, Morrigan. Without you, they will surely fail, and all will perish under the Blight. Even I.
I understand.
And you, Wardens, do you understand? I give you that which I value above all in this world. I do this because you must succeed.
She won't come to harm with us.
Allow me to get my things, if you please. I am at your disposal, Grey Wardens. I suggest a village north of the wilds as our first destination. 'Tis not far, and you will find much you need there. Or, if you prefer, I shall simply be your silent guide. The choice is yours.
No, I prefer you speak your mind.
You will regret saying that.
Dear sweet mother, you are so kind to cast me out like this. How fondly I shall remember this moment.
Well, I always said, if you want something done, do it yourself. Or hear about it for a decade or two afterwards.
Do you really want to take her along because her mother says so?
We need all the help we can get.
I guess you're right. The Grey Wardens have always taken allies where they could find them.
I am so pleased to have your approval.
Actually, I have some questions.
I may have answers. Ask.
Are you really Flemeth's daughter?
'Twas she who raised me, and thus I consider her my mother, born from her womb or not. 'Tis what you meant, yes?
She's just going to stay here alone?
Mother was alone long before I came, and will be so long after I am dead. Such is her choice, though I suspect she would claim the choice was made for her.
Have you never been outside the wilds?
From time to time. I have been to the village I mentioned, watched its people, and pondered what curious beings they are. On occasion, I purchased goods from the village merchants. There I spoke with men a little. There they stared and knew me as an outsider. Mother wishes for me to expand the horizon of my experience beyond the wilds. Even she was not born here.
Is that what you want?
What I want is to see mountains. I wish to witness the ocean and step into its waters. I want to experience a city rather than see it in my mind. So, yes, this is what I want. Actually, leaving is harder than I thought, however. Perhaps Mother is right. It must simply be done quickly.
Tell me about the village to the north.
'Tis a small place of little consequence called Lothering. No more than a stop along your Imperial Highway where travellers purchase goods from local farms and smiths. I would go more often were it not for the town's chantry. It makes the village particularly intolerant and unpleasant for a stranger such as me.
A chantry? And they never in all this time thought that maybe you were a witch?
Of course they have. They even called out their Templars once. They found nothing.
Is there any reason to go to Lothering, then?
I mention it for its tavern, where travellers gather with news from other places. 'Tis small enough that our appearance might go unnoticed. Beyond that, 'tis close, and I know the way.
How are we going to get past the Darkspawn?
The real question is how we are going to get your friend past the Darkspawn, is it not?
That's true. We can sense the Darkspawn. Conversely, they can sense us.
I don't sense any Darkspawn.
You won't right away. No. It takes time. We should be able to sneak past smaller groups, but larger ones, or particularly intelligent Darkspawn, will always detect us.
Mother has given me something else for them to smell instead as we pass by. 'Tis important we head out of the wilds, however, not farther in.
The Darkspawn are camped farther in the forest?
They come from underground, like an eruption. They broke through deep within the forest, and that is where they will be most concentrated.
What skills do you have exactly?
I know a few spells, though I am nowhere near as powerful as Mother. I have also studied history and your Grey Warden treaties.
Can you cook?
I can cook, yes.
Never mind, you don't have to cook.
You missed your chance. Now it's charred rabbit from here on out.
I have no more questions.
Farewell, Mother. Do not forget the stew on the fire. I would hate to return to a burned-down hut.
Bah! 'Tis far more likely you will return to see this entire area, along with my hut, swallowed up by the blight.
All I meant was...
Yes, I know. Do try to have fun, dear.
Yay, affection, and codex entries, and stuff, and level ups. Alright, doggy, you get some more things, okay. That'll do for now. Oh, and you get a new thing. Combat training. Undergone rigorous training, giving it bonus to crit chance, attack, and armor. That sounds great. And then charge. Mabari charges its enemy, dealing normal damage. Attack hits and knocking the opponent down unless it passes a resistance check. That's all good. I think I'm going to go with combat training. Gonna get it all eventually. Alright, and now we have Morrigan in our party. Hello, Morrigan. I love me some Morrigan. Wildstone Clasp. Willpower, mental resistance, and she's got a magic staff. Got a gray iron magic staff, but hers is made of steel, so it's slightly better. And oh, do you know what? That mage that I had equipped before took all the stuff. I forgot to unequip him before I lit the beacon. That sucks. But whatever. It's okay. You can equip the mental... Oh, God, that's terrible. It's a good thing I have that mod that turns the things off. The helmets. She can use... I don't want to give her too much armor because then she gets fatigued. And that decreases the amount of spells she can use. Let's... what kind of spells does she have? She has Shapeshifter Specialization. So you can turn into a spider. I don't like it, to be honest, because while she's shifted, she cannot use her spells, and I prefer her spells. Just my thing. She has frost magic and lightning magic. She's primarily going to be... The two schools I like with her are Primal and Entropy. Entropy, especially for stuff like Waking Nightmare, Sleep, Horror, Mass Paralysis. Oh yeah, we will definitely be getting Mass Paralysis. Miasma's not too bad, but that's more of a arcane warrior thing. Curse of Mortality. Yeah, all that stuff's good. And then, of course, the good high damage stuff. Like Inferno and Blizzard and Chain Lightning. Friendly fire possible. Yeah, it'll say in the description for friendly fire. So you need to... All these are pretty much friendly fire. Yep. Friendly fire, friendly fire, friendly fire. These ones, I think, are less... Mass Paralysis does not have friendly fire, which is nice. A lot of these don't. Death Cloud does. Okay. We'll worry about all that stuff later. She's not leveling up right now. Okay, so he's got all his stuff. Turn that on. You turn your... Put that there. Put that there. Pummel there. Threaten goes over here. Turn that on. Turn that on. Just making sure everyone's got what they need. Okay, she has Winter's Grasp. She also has Frost Weapons. Put those over there. You can put those on. Actually, yeah, just turn that off for now. And Winter's Grasp is good. Drain Life is good, but that's like a reactionary spell. Disorient is pretty good. Shapeshift, we probably... I'm just going to take it off. I'm not going to use it. And... Oh, nope. Go in number 2. Thank you. Vulnerability Hex. That makes them take more damage to certain attacks. She has survival, so she can make potions, which is nice. Horror. Target cowers in fear, which is great. We'll use that. And Mind Blast. And that stuns enemies caught in this wave. Like that. That's a good one. So that is another kind of reactionary spell. Let's put the reactionary spells together. Disorient. Let's put the... come on. Why do you do that? So annoying. That there. Drain life there. Mind Blast there. And Hex there. Okay, and there's your sustained ability. Okay, good to go. Let's make sure we've looted everything. Don't see anything there. Alright.
Have you not left yet? I hope you are not hanging about for some stew.
Stew would be good. You could come with us, you know.
Huh, I prefer to remain here. Considering what the world has done to me, I have already done more than it deserves.
And what has the world done to you?
That is between the world and me. Your business is elsewhere.
But you're more powerful than we are.
It is not a matter of power. No one person in all of Thedas has enough power to stand against a blight. Were that the case, sending you two would be quite the jest. What is important is that you are both Grey Wardens. Your task is to unite the land, inspire its men, and turn them from their petty politics to face the Archdemon. In that, you are more powerful than I by far. I am but an old woman whom the world has largely forgotten.
Could you answer some questions?
Questions. One would think a Grey Warden would be more interested in action.
Are you trying to tell me something? Can I ask about your magic?
What good would it do you? You are no mage. It is sufficient that I have passed on my knowledge to Morrigan, and I pass her on to you.
Like a worn dress or an old pair of shoes.
Are you still here? You cannot give them away, apparently.
How long have you lived in the wilds?
Since before I was wrinkled and old. Ah, you may think it strange, but I was once young and beautiful, just as Morrigan is now. Yes, men desired Flemeth then, and some even killed for her.
That must have been a long time ago.
You will need that smart mouth for more than asking me silly questions.
Well, what will you do once we're gone?
Have a moment's peace for once.
I hear the peace of the grave is eternal.
This is the thanks I get for feeding you and putting up with you for this long. Ah, may your child one day treat you the same.
Feed me, she says. Without me, I swear, she shall be caked in dirt and eating tree bark inside of a month.
Do you have any advice?
About the Darkspawn?
About anything, really.
Then hear this. I laugh at a world full of stupid humans who ignore the Blight's evil and abandon their vigilance to chase mortal goals. Remember, it is up to you to destroy the Blight. Pray not for someone else to destroy it. It will always nip at your heels.
I have no more questions.
Then we are done. Now, if you will excuse me, I have some dinner to eat.
Alright. Away! Oh, and this raven is part of another mod that I'll get to. Gather your party and venture forth? Indeed. Alright, so we can head up to Lothering. We can also head to our party camp. And actually it's a good idea to do that before you go to Lothering because stuff happens. If I remember correctly. It's been a while, actually. There's that raven. What's up, doggy?
Oh, why, you little...
What?
Your furry friend here took offense at me getting near his food. He snapped at me, look.
It was just a warning. He could have taken your hand off.
Don't you think I don't know it? Sometimes I forget that he's a war dog. That'll teach me.
You don't mess with the dog. Alright, so this is our campsite. Now, for the rest of the game, this is going to kind of be our home base. And as we acquire party members and other people and other plot-related stuff, the camp will get larger and more populated. For right now, it's fairly empty. It's just me, Alistair, the dog, and then Morrigan has her own little tent off to the side. Let's go ahead and have a chat with Morrigan.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
How did you become a shape changer?
I was not born such. 'Tis a skill of Flemeth's, taught over many years in the wilds. The chastened have tales of we witches, saying that we assume the forms of creatures to watch them from hiding. When a child is alone and separate from his tribe, that is when we strike, dragging the young boy kicking and screaming to our lair to be devoured. A most amusing legend.
But it's just a legend, right?
So I assume. My mother has walked the wilds far longer than I. Who am I to suggest what things she has done and not done in her past? Why do you ask? Is there something specific you wish to know?
Can you change into other human forms as well?
The form of an animal is different from my own. One may study the creature, learn to move as it does, think as it does. In time, this allows one to become as it is. I gain nothing by studying another human. I already am the same as they are. I learn nothing. So the answer is no, my human form is the only one I possess.
That sounds rather unsatisfying. Can anyone become a shape changer?
Anyone with sufficient will, but the act of transformation is a magical one. 'Tis a spell and thus requires a mage's talents. If you had a notion to learn such a skill for yourself, sadly, you must remain disappointed.
Did you spend a lot of time as an animal?
There were nights when the wilds called to me, 'tis true. You look upon the world around you and you think you know it well. I have smelled it as a wolf, listened as a cat, prowled shadows that you never dreamed existed. But my life is as a human. I am under no illusions to the contrary.
And what do other animals think of you when you're changed?
They do not shy away from me. To their senses, I believe I seem like any other of their species. As to what they think, I truly cannot say. Just as I am still human, no matter my form, they are still animals. Thus they cannot speak, even were I to ask.
I've never heard of magic like that before.
No? 'Tis not unheard of in the remote corners of the world. There are traditions of magic outside of the circle of magi, despite what those mages would have you believe. Some of these traditions are old, indeed, passed down as carefully guarded lore from one generation to the next. The zealots of the chantry would uproot all such practitioners if they could. But as luck have it, some still exist. My mother is such a one.
That's good. Such traditions need to be preserved.
I am surprised you think so. Still, 'tis a pleasant thing to hear.
That's all I wanted to ask.
Indeed. Have you an opinion on my abilities, then? Am I an unnatural abomination to be put to the torch?
Maybe tied to a flagpole and tickled.
I wouldn't advise it. But enough of such talk. Let us proceed, lest the dust gather on us.
Oregon approves +4. Also, we did acquire... Where is it? Is it down here? Tribal necklace. Oregon? Actually, I can give that to anyone, but I'm going to give it to her.
A fine gift. You have my thanks.
It's actually difficult, being a good guy, it's actually difficult to raise her affection, so I'm going to boost it just a little bit.
A fine gift. You have my thanks.
So yeah, you can give gifts to your companions, and that raises their approval. But certain gifts are better than others. So the gifts I gave her are okay for anyone, but there are certain gifts you can give her that are plot related that will really bump up her affection, and usually they're accompanied by some sort of quest. And that's true for everyone. Everyone has some sort of quest item that you give them, and it pushes their affection through the roof, and they get stat bonuses and such. I'd like to ask you something. Let's just make sure. Have you ever been hunted by the Chantry?
You are very cute to ask so many questions.
And you are cute when you're evasive.
Really? Perhaps we should be wrapped in ribbons and adorned with flowers. So cute are we, too. My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
You really had no trouble with them.
I am unsure. I was too young to understand, and perhaps 'twas bravado on Flemeth's part, or perhaps she was merely amused. I will never know. Flemeth would warn them once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait, a little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
Surely more would have followed.
Sometimes. Eventually. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
They got what they deserved.
Perhaps they did. Still, I do not begrudge them doing what they believe is necessary. The Chantry sees any mages not leashed to the Circle of Magi as apostates, and apostates could become maleficarum, evil mages that resort to blood magic and become demon-enslaved abominations. It may even be true. Still, those of us who prefer freedom see no reason to submit.
If I were a mage, I might think the same.
Thank you for small favors, then, at the very least. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
Morgan approves, +5. And she got minor magic upgrade. So, switch to her. So Morgan's magic is now boosted to 28. And yeah, +4. I think part of that is her... Oh, hold on. Can I see her stuff? I'll have to look at that later. But yeah, she gets a boost to her magic, and which is really helpful because it helps her level up or get new spells faster and equip better weapons and whatnot. And who's he? What's it? So that's good. I can also speak to Alistair.
What do you need?
Do you want to talk about Duncan?
You don't have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did.
He was like a father to you, I understand.
I should have handled it better. Duncan warned me right from the beginning that this could happen. Any of us could die in battle. I shouldn't have lost it, not when so much is riding on us, not with the Blight and everything. I'm sorry.
There's no need to apologize.
I'd like to have a proper funeral for him. Maybe once this is all done, if we're still alive. I don't think he had any family to speak of.
That's an excellent idea.
I think he came from Howe, or so he said. Maybe I'll go up there sometime. See about putting up something in his honor. I don't know.
So he's from
Have you
Howe?
seen someone close to you die? Not that I mean to pry, I'm just...
My entire family was murdered just recently. Actually, I'd rather not talk about it, to be honest.
Oh, sorry about that. Let's get going. We still have a lot to do, right?
And Alistair approves. And, alright. Dog, you have anything to say?
I once heard a really old legend about how the Hound warriors in the days of the old tribes would feed their Mabari the flesh of the vanquished. Well, that's what I heard anyway. It would sometimes be human flesh. Oh, like you can tell the difference. For all you know, maybe you've already been fed something. Someone.
Aw, puppy. If you've had it and didn't know it, it probably was tasty. Oh, man. Okay. Let us be off. Alright, now here's where we can choose our party. We only have 4 party members now. But that will change because that whole screen will fill up. Alright, we're done with our camp. Let us head to Lothering. Yes, blood splatter of travel. Go! We leave kind of a nasty stuff in our wake, don't we? Cutscene.
And I expect each of you to supply these men. We must rebuild what was lost at Ostagar, and quickly. There are those who would take advantage of our weakened state if we let them. We must defeat this Darkspawn incursion, but we must do so sensibly and without hesitation.
Your lordship, if I might speak. You have declared yourself Queen Honora's regent, and claim we must unite under your banner for our own good. But what of the army lost at Ostagar? Your withdrawal was most fortuitous.
Zap!
Everything I have done has been to secure Ferelden's independence. I have not shirked my duty to the throne, and neither will any of you!
The Banon will not bow to you simply because you demand it.
Understand this. I will brook no threat to this nation from you or anyone.
Van Tegan, please!
Your Majesty, your father risks civil war. If Eamon were here...
Van Tegan, my father is doing what is best.
Did he also do what was best for your husband, your Majesty?
Burn! Some Game of Thrones stuff going on here.
Wake up, gentlemen. More travelers to attend to. I'd guess that fellow is the leader.
They don't look much like them others, you know. Maybe we should just let these ones pass.
Nonsense. Greetings, travelers.
Highwaymen, preying on those fleeing the Darkspawn, I suppose.
They are fools to get in our way. I say, teach them a lesson.
Now, was that any way to greet someone? A simple 10 silvers, and you're free to move on.
You should listen to your friend. We're not refugees.
What did I tell you? No wagons, and this one looks armed.
The toll applies to everyone, Heinrich. That's why it's a toll. and not, say, a refugee tax.
Oh, right. Even if you're no refugee, you still gotta pay.
You're toll collectors, then.
Indeed, for the upkeep of the Imperial Highway. It's a bit of a mess, isn't it?
Perhaps you should charge more, then.
You want to pay more? Well, we'll happily accept donations.
I'm just saying, it's rough business for such a pittance.
I could be mistaken, but that sounded threatening.
Sounded like a threat to me.
Interesting, because you seem a bit outnumbered.
Do you really want to fight a Grey Warden?
Did he say he's a Grey Warden? Them ones killed the king.
Traitors to Ferelden, I hear. Tern Loghain put quite a bounty on any who are found.
But aren't them Grey Wardens good? I mean, really good? Good enough to kill a king?
You have a point. Well, let's forget about the toll. We'll just leave you to your darkspawn fighting, king-killing ways.
You know, Grey Wardens could use a donation.
You don't say.
They is really good, boss. Remember?
Well, yes. 20 silvers? That's all we've collected today.
Not enough, I'm afraid.
Just when we had things settled.
Get him! Yeah. Morgan, what can you do for me? Let's put on our freezing frost weapons and go for Winter Credit School. And he resisted. Dope. Not good. Let's do a... already used Mind Blast. Horror!
Alright, we surrender. We're just trying to get by before the darkspawn get us all.
Get by? You're a criminal.
Yes, I'm a criminal. I admit it. I apologize.
You'll follow my lead. Hand over everything you've stolen.
Yes, of course. The coins we collected are right here. Just over 100 silvers. The rest is in the chests we brought. I swear.
Then start running and don't come back.
Bless you. The darkspawn can have this place.
See ya. Well, that was a gold.
Yes.
A dead Templar. Knight's locket and a knight's note. Taking it. Okay, so. Give me all the stuff. Fancy vase. Sell that. A trap trigger.
All right.
And splint mail gloves, gray iron. Not as good as what I have. And my inventory's full. Poopy. Oh, I can come back up here for it after I sell some stuff. Alright, well, here we are at Lothering.
There it is. Lothering. Pretty as a painting.
Ah, so you have finally decided to rejoin us, have you? Falling on your blade in grief seemed like too much trouble, I take it.
Is my being upset so hard to understand? Have you never lost someone important to you? Just what would you do if your mother died?
Before or after I stopped laughing?
Right, very creepy. Forget I asked.
You have been very quiet, Alistair.
Yes, I know. I was just thinking.
No wonder it took so long, then.
Oh, I get it. This is the part where we're shocked to discover how you've never had a friend your entire life.
I can be friendly when I desire to. Alas, desiring to be more intelligent does not make it so.
Anyway, I thought we should talk about where we intend to go first.
I need to look for Fergus. He might still be alive.
He was out scouting in the wilds, wasn't he? That's what the king said.
Then attempting to look for him there would be foolish. He is either dead or he managed to flee to the north.
Very sensitive.
I am simply saying that it is foolish to mount a rescue when you have no notion where this man is and the wilds are overrun with darkspawn. You will either find him somewhere outside the wilds with other survivors, or not at all.
You have some thoughts on this point, Alistair?
This should be good.
I think what Flemeth suggested is the best idea. These treaties, have you looked at them?
What do you mean?
The treaties, the ones we got from Flemeth. With these, we will be able to ask for assistance. Maybe even raise an army. There are 3 main groups that we have treaties for. The Dalish Elves, the Dwarves of Orzammar, and the Circle of Magi. I also still think that Arleman is our best bet for help. We might even want to go to him first.
Is there any way to contact the Grey Wardens?
Short of leaving Ferelden to seek them out, the only place to send word to would be Weishaupt Fortress. And that's thousands of miles away.
What do you think we should do, Morrigan?
Go after your enemy directly. Find this man Loghain and kill him. The rest of this business with the treaties can then be done in safety.
Yes, he certainly wouldn't see that coming, and it's not like he has the advantage of an army and experience and...
I was asked for my opinion and I gave it. If your wish is to come up with reasons why something cannot be done, we will stand here until the Darkspawn are upon us.
Why are you leaving it up to me?
Well, I don't know where we should go. I'll do whatever you decide.
Now that is unsurprising.
Arleman is a good man, but I don't know for sure he's where we should go. I'm not going to fight about it.
Then we should find these people.
I can give you directions, if you like.
I don't need any directions.
Then you have a plan.
I'm ready to get going.
Fair enough. Let's head into the village whenever you're ready.
Okay, well, next time we'll head into Lothering and learn more about the world of Thedas and Ferelden. Until then,